Right, another round of applause to Gareth.
Hello. How good was Claire, by the way? This is not going to be as slick. Claire has all of the information, and I have mine all written down. So let's see how we get on. So hello, I'm Gareth Wild. I'm the production director at Fourth Floor and Explosive Allen Productions. And I'm here to talk to you today about video. So first of all, a little bit about Fourth Floor. We are a creative marketing agency located in Bristol, as was very kindly pointed out. And we do a lot of work with AAAs and indies, as my next slide does show. There we go. And most importantly, I like to think that we come from a place of love. We really love the games that we work with. You know, as marketers, I think it's easy to think that we're maybe not as connected, but everybody who works at Fourth Floor is really, really passionate about the games industry. They are all gamers. They are all the best kind of nerds that we've got. And all that love, I think, likes to go into our creative ideation. So when we're working on campaigns for indies or AAAs, it comes from a place of passion for the industry, a passion for the games. But also, we like to back that up with what works. So fortunately, we have proprietary systems which has 7 years worth of campaigns. So that is thousands of campaigns that we've worked on. And we know from that data, you know, what sort of video is actually cutting through, what's making the right sort of noise, and you know what's really resonating with our audiences. So we like to think between the head and the heart, we have it covered. So Fourth Floor is predominantly a creator marketing agency, which means that we work with creators or influencers to get games out into people's hands and to let creators do the work for you in a way. It's a very lazy approach. But also we do a lot of creative video production as well. So I'll explain a little bit of that in just a minute. So creative marketing, why it works? Well, when it's done correctly, it puts your game in the hands of specialists who have audience who are actively engaged with their particular speciality. Traditional games media is a one-size-fits-all, which makes it difficult to target the right audiences, whereas creator marketing is a targeting-first approach, allowing you to spend your marketing budget more wisely. So that's where we're coming from, and I just wanted to sort of let you know all of that before we get into it. So my talk is telling your story through the power of video game marketing and why that matters. If you don't know, if you've been living under a rock, video is really good at telling stories. Video is the most engaging content format online. So social video generates 1,200 more shares than text and image content combined. That's a big number. We like that. Viewers retain more information from video. So people retain 95% of a message when they watch it in video compared to just 10% when reading it in text. And finally, videos directly influence purchasing decisions. So 84% of consumers say they've been convinced to buy a product or service after watching a brand's video. Those are three really important points to remember when you're thinking about your marketing campaign and how much you're going to integrate video, and more importantly, how you start to think about that right at the beginning of your marketing campaign, especially if you're doing that yourself. So, why does video matter? This is just an extension of what I've just said here. So you can create the best game in the world, but if no one knows it exists, it won't succeed. On the flip side, you don't need to make a perfect product to make an impact. If you tell a compelling story and reach the right audience, you can build a community and drive sales. What legend said that? That was me, just then. So again, it's just reiterating that if you don't get your game out to the masses, if people can't see it, they don't know about it. And video really is the easiest way to do that. So I'm going to dive into a little bit more about that. But finally, who am I quickly before I lecture you on video? Well, I've been making videos all my life. I've been a gamer all my life. And my mum told me to put this photo in to really illustrate the point in my life when I became a marketer. So I was making adverts on little home camcorders from this age. So there you go. That is, hopefully that convinces you to listen to me. And just to back that up, I wanted to quickly show a little bit of our company showreel, just to give you an idea of the sorts of titles we're working on and the sorts of activations, the sort of content that we're talking about here. So I'll play this and hopefully we get some sound.
We are making a giant bloody
video.
I'm gonna need a crew.
Why not?
Explosive Alan.
A source of national pride.
It's all to play for.
That was epic.
Peaky Blinders have taken over the world.
Alan Wake 2 is built on the foundation of our previous games.
We've all kind of really put our heart and soul into this game.
Probably 2 months in, we knew we had a really good game.
Creative Days was an opportunity for groups to come together and create anything. The sky was the limit.
And like performing the song and seeing my character like do all my hand movements, I'm like, bro, this is mad.
Oh my God, the power of this thing!
Solid solutions to real world problems.
Genius.
It's the younger generation who are actually driving the passion behind environmentalism.
Avec une couleur d'or.
I'm actually going to stop it there because I realise I've put the long version on instead of the short version, which is very self-indulgent. So let's move on before I get too involved in that. So that's who I am. Who's here today? So who is the audience? What are your objectives, and what is driving you? I'm assuming many of you are developers looking for inspiration and information. You might just be starting out in your development journey, or you might be well into your process, thinking about your marketing plan. Whilst unit sales might not be your primary goal when starting out, especially if you're driven by passion or creative expression, they play a crucial role in turning what begins as a side project or labour of love into a sustainable long-term career. For many indie developers, generating sales isn't just about profit, it's about funding future projects, growing a studio, and gaining the freedom to begin making the games they believe in. So I just want to show you through an example marketing beat campaign. This is very much an example. There are other beats. There are other types of video that we can talk about, but unfortunately I've only got 25 minutes today, so time will quickly run out. So here we have the 4 beats that I wanted to talk about today, which is announcing, sustaining interest, launch, and then beyond. And what each of that really means, and then a little example on some of the video types that you would expect to be doing at those beats. I'm trying to touch on just some of them. There's a lot more here, and I'm happy to talk about that later if anybody wants to grab me for a chat. But these are some of the sort of top examples. So announcing a game is when the story begins. If that opening grabs your audience's attention and imagination, they'll want to see it through to the end. We move into beat 2, which is all about sustaining interest. Capturing people's attention is only the start. In the time between discovery and purchase, your game needs to hold that attention and build enthusiasm. It's time to take the audience deeper into your world with videos that celebrate the creative process and showcase the elements that make your game shine. And what we're talking about there are things like dev diaries and behind the scenes and gameplay demos. These are all a great chance to show a little bit of what goes into making the sausage, what's behind the curtain. I've really got to sort out my analogies. Launch, so this is the peak moment for visibility and conversion. This is when you're dropping your launch trailer, you're doing live action moments, you're having live streams and hopefully creator activations as well. Live streams just a great way to interact with the audience and really sort of start answering some of those questions and building out that community. And then beat 4, which is beyond. So we like to take this opportunity at beat 4 to really start building out the community across social channels. I'm not suggesting that you start a social channel after your game is launched, but this is a time when you could really start putting in a lot more of your time. Your time is obviously going to be split a lot. You're going to have to wear many different hats, being developers and your own marketers and publishers in some cases. But this is a chance where you can really start building out that community. Sorry, I forgot my clicker. So I'm now going to look into just a few of the video types that you might expect at some of these key beats in your marketing campaign, starting with your teaser trailer. This is essential. Like it couldn't be more important to nail your teaser trailer. And fortunately, there's a really nice structure to teasers, which will hopefully allow you to make something really awesome. So it's really important to establish a strong mood quickly. Whether it's eerie, playful, mysterious or intense, your teaser should make viewers feel something in the first few seconds through music, pacing and visuals. Show just enough to intrigue. So teasers aren't full trailers. They give glimpses of gameplay, the world or characters without over-explaining. Lean into mystery to spark curiosity and conversation. And highlight your unique identity. So you want to emphasize what makes your game different here. Whether it's the art style, the game mechanic, theme or vibe, you need to make it memorable so that viewers instantly associate that moment or mood with your game. And the actual loop that is really useful, this is a tried and tested method, is start with your hook, move into your gameplay, show some of your features, and then end with a really strong call to action. You can do that all in 1 minute, and if you get that right, that will just lure people in. And to show you an example of that, I wanted to show you what I think is, it didn't play good, is just an exceptional teaser trailer. So this is, I think, from 2016. It's not one that we produced, but I just think this is pure gold. So I just want to play this quickly to show you that process of hook, gameplay, and really strong call to action. So obviously Cuphead, an absolute classic, amazing game, but that trailer really hits those key beats and tells its story brilliantly. Before you even get started, you're hit with this amazing high tempo, rapid fire music, which really mirrors the gameplay. This is a great way of setting up what you're seeing. And then that amazing hook at the beginning, which is Cuphead and Mugman gambled with the devil and lost. Do my bidding and I may spare you. That's already hooked you in. That's all the story you really need to know before then launching into that gameplay. And the gameplay loop, we see a wide variety of environments and characters, but not so much that we are left bored. It's always just wanting to ask more questions. So in my opinion, that is a simple formula executed brilliantly. Right, moving on. So the next beat is sustaining interest. So the moment between announcing and launching, you've got quite a long window where you need to be maintaining that interest for your game. And there's a number of different ways that we can do this. Something that we've done, or we do a lot of, are behind the scenes visits or dev diaries. And this is, I think I mentioned it before, just a great way to take your audience on the journey with you, because there are going to be a lot of times where things go right and a lot of time when things go wrong. But being transparent about that is what drives audiences to cheer you on. They want you to succeed. So if they see how things are difficult, they will be behind you 100%. I'm sure of that. So, behind the scenes videos, what am I talking here? So, things that you need to remember when making a good behind the scenes video. You want to show real process, not just polished results. Include work in progress footage, early builds, and moments of trial and error. It builds authenticity and respect for the craft. Let your personality shine through. So indie teams often have unique voices and perspectives. Lean into that. Humor, honesty, and quirks. It all makes the video relatable and engaging. Take your audience on the same journey you were taking. I keep on saying that, but it's so important. And connect the creative decisions to the game itself. So explain why certain choices were made and how they impact the final experience, because this helps the viewers appreciate both the game and the people who made it. I wanted to show you a quick example of what I mean by behind the scenes videos in case you're not familiar with them. I'm sure you are, but this is just a shorter example. Great, thank you. This is something that we worked on with Epic and Remedy for the launch of Alan Wake 2 as part of a 6-part series. This is just a little snippet from episode 1.
Alan Wake 2 is a psychological survival horror game, and the player takes on the role of 2 different hero characters. The titular character, Alan Wake.
This story is a monster.
And a new character, Saga Anderson.
Glad you're on this case with me, Anderson.
We have this theme of duality and echoes in Alan Wake 2, so we needed a counterpoint, like another perspective in the game that would play off of Alan's, as well as having a character located in the Pacific Northwest, so we could have both of those worlds present in the game and playable for the players.
Alan Wake 2 has many tools in it. 2 narratives. We are exploring 2 worlds. It's not just Alan Wake this time.
Cryptic words from Sam Lake. Just the ability to show off all of your work in progress there is so important, and then connecting with the people who are making it, like I say, it builds authenticity. So we'll move on to launch. So I've kind of gone through trailers to a certain degree, so I'll move on to another type of content you might want to consider at launch, and that is something like a live action piece. So this is an opportunity to connect your game to the real world. And what I mean by that, or the sort of things you need to be thinking here, are, well, there we go. Emotionally connect the game to real life. So use metaphor and tone or narrative to show how the game's themes, mood, or experience resonate beyond the screen and make it feel relevant and human. Have a clear creative vision. So your live action should match the ambition of your game and feel intentional, not generic. It's a chance to let your tone of the game flow through the video content that you're putting out there. And you want to build curiosity without over-explaining. So tease the world or the concept of the game in a stylized way. Focus on vibe over exposition to spark interest and drive viewers to learn more. So an example of this is something we did with Bossa Studios. It was for the launch of Surgeon Simulator on the Switch. We wanted to show an example of how a real-world player might experience Surgeon Simulator, and this is what we did for Bossa. You'd be surprised how cheap that advert was. A couple of packets of sausages for some intestines, hiring the bus, and then everybody who features in that is either works in the company or is one of the devs. So you can do these activations on the cheap and still make things which cuts through and reaches a wider audience. And depending on your title, you might be wanting to connect with that wider audience. Finally, I talked about it before. Running your social media accounts, it's so important from the first step, but Beat4 is a chance for you to really use a little bit more of your time and putting it into this. So we've run social media accounts for different games now, and there are things that are really worth remembering if you're trying to run your own account. I mean, one, it is incredibly time consuming, and if anything that you do, I couldn't recommend more getting a dedicated social media person on board. But you really want to be building a sticky relationship. And by that, I mean, a sticky relationship means your community doesn't just watch your videos, they return, engage, and care. Social media video is one of the most powerful tools for this because it brings your game's personality, progress, and passion to life in a way that static posts can't. By consistently sharing your content, your behind the scenes moments, dev updates, your memes, you create a sense of inclusion and trust. That emotional investment makes followers more likely to share your game, support your launch, and stay on the journey with you, and not just as players, but as champions of your work. Foster a culture around your IP. So your IP needs a life beyond the game. Fostering a culture around your indie game means creating a world that fans want to be part of. So it's important to showcase your game's tone, humour and values. Encourage fan theories, inside jokes and shared language, and turn your IP into something that inspires art and conversation. When you build a culture, you create a sense of belonging, and that's what turns players into a passionate, lasting community. And finally, organic reach and how that helps with discoverability. Organic reach is the most valuable marketing asset you can have. If people are actively sharing your content and reaching new potential customers, you have cracked the code. You win the internet. Congratulations, have a big novelty size check with lots of zeros on it because you're going to make a huge amount of money. And finally, just a few very quick examples of how we've worked with the team at Power Wash Simulator to connect meme culture and their game and how that works with just building out that community.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
So, like jumping on trending content is a really easy way of generating views and yeah, just connecting with that audience. And that is what we do. We do a lot of that for our TikTok channels. And if that's not the coolest job in the world, just capturing Power Wash Sim with your little guy dancing around the room to music, it doesn't get any better than that. So sort of to wrap this up, because I know I haven't got much time, that was a very loose look at, one, the marketing funnel, but also how video fits into each of those beats. There's so much more that I've just not got time to cover today. But if you do want to reach out, I'll be around for a little bit and I'll stick my email address up at the end there. Have I got time to run through one more slide yet? So to end with just sort of my 5 video tips that I wish people had said to me before I started my career. Start with what feels, not what features. Begin by communicating the emotion and experience of your game before listing mechanics. Ask what should players feel. Let that lead your visuals, tone and storytelling. Features can follow. What story are you trying to tell and what voice are you telling it with? Define the narrative behind your game, why it exists, who it's for, and what makes it meaningful. Then decide the tone of your communication. Is it playful, raw, thoughtful, rebellious? Consistency in voice builds a recognizable and trustworthy identity. Think about your core pillars and hold yourself accountable to them. Set 2 to 3 creative or thematic pillars that define your project. These should guide your design and your marketing. Revisit them regularly to keep messaging sharp and decisions aligned. Build a close relationship with your audience. I mean, that's what this talk has really all been about. Your community is your greatest ally. Engage with honesty and transparency and respond to comments. Involve them in development and celebrate milestones together. Genuine connection creates loyalty that outlasts algorithms. And finally, prepare to wear many hats and plan your time accordingly. As an indie dev, you're likely to be the marketer, producer, tester, and more. Embrace the variety, but schedule realistically. Content creation, outreach, and updates takes time, so bake that into your dev calendar early. And then finally, if you haven't really got time to go through that, but if you want to take a photo, there's some free stuff for making videos, which was really useful. There's so many assets out there, and if you want to just have a chat about anything, marketing, video, come and find me afterwards. And that's me. Thank you.
Thank you, Gareth. A really great look behind the scenes at some